Chapter 31 Tianfu. You are listening at novelfull.audio. It was already midnight in the secret realm, and it was pitch black and silent. Yi Lin stood on a big tree and pondered. With my current fate, the chance of finding an opportunity by myself is not great. I can't say it's not great, but it's almost none. Yi Lin was very confident about his fate. Not to mention the opportunity, it was a luxury to be able to live well. No, I have to find someone. It would be best if I could meet Lin Zisheng. Before the Phoenix Bathing Heaven technique entered the secret realm, Lin Zisheng did not show that he would obtain this secret realm. That is to say, on the panel, after a long time, only more important opportunities will be displayed. So now, if I can take a look at Lin Zisheng's secret realm, I will definitely get rich. But let me take a look at my panel first. Lin Zisheng will find me in the secret realm, just in time for me to see when it will be. Name, Yi Lin, Cultivation, 8th level of Qi training, Fate, Black, Many disasters, Numerology, Bad luck, Comprehension and Divine, Destiny. The fact that you defeated Lin Zio was known by Lin Zisheng, the disciple of Lin Zio's elder brother. Then Lin Zisheng was furious and assassinated you in the inner secret realm 5 minutes later. You were not prepared and were seriously injured by Lin Zisheng. At the critical moment, you used the sword talisman to escape. Recent opportunities, none. Bad luck, such as falling down when walking and being cheated on when getting married. Comprehension, superb comprehension, extremely fast in understanding various techniques. For the same technique, others need 3 months, but you only need a few days. After reading the panel, Yi Lin's muscles tensed up. 5 minutes, that is to say, Lin Zisheng has already found him. At this time, Yi Lin quickly jumped down from the tree and came to the bushes, looking around. I have already found you, come out. Yi Lin held the sword talisman in his hand and said to a dark place in front of him. At this time, the bushes in front made a rustling sound, and Lin Zisheng, dressed in white, walked out of the bushes with a long sword in his hand. I'm curious, how did you find me? Lin Zisheng held a long sword in his hand, and it seemed that he was no longer in a hurry to take action. In the cave, you have already found me, right? Hearing this, Lin Zisheng laughed. Ha ha ha, not bad, such a sharp perception, but today is the day you die. As early as in the cave, he had already found Yi Lin hiding in the ruins. The perception of the foundation building period is very amazing. In a small cave, his perception can completely cover the entire cave. After saying that, Lin Zisheng didn't say any nonsense and attacked with all his strength. In his eyes, Yi Lin was just a passerby and didn't need him to pay attention. Kill him, that's it. Want to kill me? Next life, I'll give you a surprise. Yi Lin raised the corner of his mouth and threw out the sword talisman directly. The next moment, a hot sword light flashed in the space. Yao Tian 9 swords, cut. Lin Zisheng shouted loudly and shattered the sword light in front of him with a sword, but Yi Lin had disappeared. Intention. It's intention. At this time, a trace of blood appeared on Lin Zisheng's right arm. He was injured. He never expected that this sword actually contained intention, and that intention was moving along his arm towards his heart. Yi Lin, right? Very good. If I don't kill you, I can't get rid of my hatred today. Lin Zisheng roared, then sat on the ground and began to suppress the sword intent in his body. I shouldn't be able to catch up now, right? Yi Lin, who had been running for 3 hours in a row, stopped by a river. In front of him was a transparent panel. Name, Lin Zisheng Cultivation, initial stage of foundation building Fate, yellow numerology, superb luck, king of swordsmanship, comprehension of gods, son of heaven, reincarnation of a powerful person, destiny. After experiencing many hardships along the way, he finally broke through the Mahayana period and became one of the powerful people of the human race. When he finally became an immortal, he was killed by the heavenly tribulation. Recent opportunity 1, tomorrow, Tianfu will descend, and you will be at the tiger statue in the 3rd road of Tianfu tomorrow. Recent opportunity 2, tomorrow, under the dragon statue in the third road of Tianfu, you will obtain the lower grade illusion of the earth level, the magic shadow is gone. Recent opportunity 2, 1 month later, he went down the mountain to exorcise demons. He was attacked by evil demons on the Baiduan mountain and fell off the cliff. He obtained the Xian level top grade spiritual fruit, the Shuofeng fruit, under the cliff. After taking it, his cultivation improved greatly and he entered the middle stage of foundation building in one fell swoop. Recent opportunity 3, 1.5 months later, he bought the only old vase in Yuan Baozai in the antique market of Huangjinqing at a low price. After breaking it, he found ancient murals inside. After comprehending it, he obtained ancient immortal arts and became the 3 pure ones in one breath. Super luck, you have very good luck. You can always pick up opportunities on the way. Even if you encounter a life and death crisis, you can turn danger into safety. Kendo champion, you are a natural swordsman. You have an understanding of Kendo that exceeds that of ordinary people. You have made rapid progress in Kendo, comprehension of God, you have superb comprehension. You are very fast in comprehending various techniques. For the same technique, others need 3 months, but you only need a few days. Son of Heaven, you are favored by the destiny of heaven. There is no bottleneck in your cultivation. Breaking through is as easy as eating and drinking. Reincarnation of the great power, you are the reincarnation of a great power in the immortal world, but your soul was damaged during the journey and your memory was sealed. After reaching the nascent soul stage, your memory will be unsealed. From then on, it will be like a carp leaping over the dragon gate, and everything will go smoothly. Will the heavenly palace come tomorrow? That looking at Lin Zisheng's panel, Yi Lin thought in his heart, what is the heavenly mansion? He didn't know, so, he could only wait for the so-called heavenly mansion to come tomorrow. Lin Zisheng's 2 opportunities are in the so-called heavenly mansion. If there is a big commotion, it will definitely attract other disciples to come. At that time, even if I meet Lin Zisheng, he dare not do anything to me. Yi Lin thought secretly in his heart, the inner disciples have a transcendent status in Qinyan sect. Even if the direct disciples suppress the inner disciples, they dare not kill the inner disciples at will. If the direct disciples dare to kill the inner disciples for a trivial matter, once they are discovered by Qinyan sect, they will be severely punished. Yi Lin believes that Lin Zisheng, as a son of destiny, will never do such a stupid thing. Take advantage of the rich spiritual energy in the secret realm and practice first. After thinking, Yi Lin sat on the ground and began to practice, and the spiritual energy around him came to his body. In the blink of an eye, a night passed. In a bush, Lin Zisheng opened his tired eyes. Damn it, it took me a whole night to barely suppress the sword intent. Yi Lin, I want you dead. Lin Zisheng's face was full of murderous intent. The sword intent had reached the realm of artistic conception, and it was not something that his current cultivation could completely expel. He could only suppress it temporarily. He spent the whole night trying his best to suppress the sword intent, so as to prevent it from invading his heart. Otherwise, even the gods would be unable to save him. Now the sword intent has been temporarily suppressed. When I get out, please ask Master to help me expel it, but Yi Lin, you must die. At this time, Lin Zisheng's eyes were full of murderous intent. Since he started practicing, Yi Lin was the first person to hurt him with his qi training period. After practicing for a whole night, I am getting closer and closer to the 9th level of qi training. When I get out of the secret realm this time, I will start to prepare to break through the 9th level of qi training. At this time, Yi Lin opened his eyes, exhaled a breath of turbid air and murmured, boom. At this time, there was a loud noise in the sky, and Yi Lin looked up. Chapter 32 Seizing Lin Zisheng's Opportunity. You are listening at novelfull.audio. I saw colorful rays of light all over the originally calm sky, and a majestic heavenly palace could be vaguely seen. The Tiangong was slowly descending. At this time, countless sword lights shot out from the surrounding jungle and headed towards the Tiangong. Not only are the direct disciples in the foundation establishment stage, there are also several inner disciples who are in the foundation establishment stage. This is Tianfu. So impressive. Seeing this heavenly palace, Yi Lin admired it in his heart, and then without hesitation, he headed towards the landing place of the Heavenly Palace. When Yilin arrived, Tiangong had just landed on the ground, and an extremely violent whirlpool of spiritual energy dispersed in all directions. The pores on Yilin's body were wide open, greedily absorbing the spiritual energy. The entire Tianfu resembles a fortress, and is all silver white. At the gate, 2 silver-white stone lions guard the door, looking extremely majestic. What on earth is this? So majestic? Could this be the cave of the ancient Golden Core monks? At this time, one disciple said with shock on his face. After hearing this, the others looked at that disciple one after another. You know? Tell me in detail. At this time, a woman in the sky who was extremely beautiful wearing a white dress and exuding a cool aura asked softly. Senior Sister Li. The disciple bowed to the woman and then spoke. I'm not very clear. This secret realm is the place where a Golden Core monk died in ancient times. It is said that this Golden Core monk had a high status in ancient times, and later the founder of our sect established the sect here. The door is Qinyin sect. At that time, the patriarch wanted to find out. Later, he discovered that only those with cultivation levels below the Golden Core stage can enter this secret realm. After a long period of exploration, we did not find any caves of Jindan monks. We only found that this secret realm opens every 10 years, and it is rich in spiritual energy. It has given birth to many treasures, so it has become a place for disciples to hunt for treasures. Unexpectedly, the Golden Core stage monk cave actually appeared now. After this disciple finished speaking, the other disciples, including his disciples, looked hot. Golden Elixir level monks, you must know that the Supreme Elder of Qinyin sect is at the Golden Elixir level. With this, Qinyin sect is already the overlord of thousands of miles. The combat prowess of the Golden Core stage monks in the ancient times is even higher than that of the current Golden Core stage monks. What's more, in the ancient times, there was no shortage of resources at all, and every monk was extremely rich. As for the Golden Core stage, the wealth of the Golden Core stage was quite important in ancient times. How rich should it be? Just when everyone was expecting, a stream of light flashed in the distance, and Zisheng was seen coming with a long sword. When he saw Yi Lingji again, a trace of killing intent flashed in the corner of his eyes. However, there were so many people here that it was difficult for him to attack. Even he would not dare to kill an inner disciple in public. Boom. At this time, there was another loud noise, and the silver-white door of Tianfu burst open. When the disciples saw this, no one dared to take a step forward. They are all smart people. There is no guarantee that there will be any danger in the Jindan monk cave. No one dares to leave first. They only have one life. The opportunity is right in front of you, and it's hard to achieve success by just making promises. At this time, an inner disciple in the sky snorted coldly and rushed into the gate. After seeing that there was no danger, the other disciples followed. Yi Lin mingled among the crowd and walked into the Tianfu. In front of him, there were 5 single bridges half a meter wide. The bridges connected 5 silver-white portals at the other end. Under the bridge, there were abyss. This heavenly palace is close to the ground, and how did this abyss come about? At this time, a disciple stepped forward and looked into the abyss, his face full of shock. I don't know, maybe it's a method used by the Golden Core monks in ancient times. The ancient times are full of so many mysteries that even I can't judge. At this time, the previous senior Sister Li explained. Everyone, there are 5 ways now. As for which way to go, it all depends on your own choice. At this time, the disciple who was the first to attack finished speaking, aimed at the first road, rushed through quickly, entered the silver-white portal and disappeared. Yi Lin looked at the third road. The panel showed that Lin Zisheng found the Xuanjie high-grade foundation building pill through the third road. In response, Yi Lin stepped onto the third path without hesitation, ran over quickly and disappeared, and all the disciples around started looking for paths and embarked on the treasure hunt. After Lin Zisheng saw Yi Lin going there, he followed countless disciples and found a road at random. Nowadays, there are many people and it is difficult to kill. After leaving the secret realm, there will be many opportunities. He does not believe that Yi Lin can hide in Qin Yun's sect for the rest of his life. After entering the gate, there was a huge space in front of him, surrounded by countless statues of gods, including dragons, tigers, bears, unicorns, and birds. Yi Lin didn't know what kind of animals they were. Dragon statue, tiger statue. Yi Lin thought silently in his mind, then walked straight towards the tiger statue. When he came to the statue, he squatted down, put his right hand on the base of the statue and groped for a while. Sure enough, Yi Lin found a wooden box. In an instant, the wooden box was collected by Yi Lin with a space ring. When the subsequent disciples saw Yi Lin squatting there and touching the base of the statue with his hands, they couldn't help but look at Yi Lin, but the next moment, Yi Lin took out his free hand, and they looked back. Yi Lin then came under the dragon statue, and sure enough, he touched an ancient book and put it into the space ring. Although the Qin Yun sect is said to be the overlord with a radius of thousands of miles, it is only a small sect. The inner disciples do not have such a thing as a space ring, only the elders of the inner sect have a few. Each space ring is made by a powerful person at the God transformation stage or higher. The disciples of the small sect are not qualified to own it. Brother Dao, I just saw you groping under this statue, but what did you find? At this time, the disciple who hadn't found anything after looking for a long time looked at Yi Lin and then asked. I thought this statue was very strange. I thought it must be some kind of treasure, so I wanted to try it out to see if it could be moved out. Even if it's not a treasure, it would be worth a lot if sold. Hearing this, Yi Lin said with a smile, and the other inner disciples nodded. This statement made sense. But when I tried it just now, I found that this statue weighs at least 100,000 kilograms. It seems that only senior brothers in the foundation building stage can try to lift it. After saying that, Yi Lin shook his head pretending to be regretful. Brother Dao, don't be discouraged. The cave of the ancient golden core monks must be mysterious and mysterious. There must be some mechanism here. Let's investigate it carefully. After saying that, the other disciples looked at the statues and circled around them, trying to find something. That's right. How could there be only such a small amount of things in the cave of the ancient golden elixir monks? I guess Lin Zisheng's opportunities have been refreshed again, right? It's a pity that Lin Zisheng didn't come here. Yi Lin walked, thinking in his heart. No, what is it? At this time, a shout from an inner disciple came from the front, and the others turned to look. Yi Lin also turned to look curiously. In front of the disciples' eyes, countless densely packed silver-white bugs appeared. Each bug was as big as a palm and exuded the aura of the 5th level of Qi training. If he hadn't seen it with his own eyes, Yi Lin wouldn't have believed that such a small insect could actually reach the 5th level of Qi training. This insect actually has innate spiritual energy. At this time, a disciple looked at the insect he had killed and said with shock on his face, just now, he casually killed the bugs in front of him. Unexpectedly, a pure spiritual power entered his body, and his cultivation level also improved a bit. Spiritual energy is divided into innate and acquired spiritual energy. Innate spiritual energy is the purest. The combat power of monks who cultivate with innate spiritual energy can completely crush those who cultivate with acquired spiritual energy. After the collapse of the world in the ancient world, the spiritual energy now is acquired. Reiki, in ancient times, spiritual stones were all unified and had no grades. But now, there are, because the higher the grade of spiritual stone, the more spiritual energy there is, and the closer it is to the innate spiritual energy. The spiritual energy in the best spiritual stones is infinitely close to the innate spiritual energy, and at the same time, it is also extremely precious. Chapter 33 The Treasure Hunt ends. You are listening at novelfull.audio. What? Innate aura. The rest of the people were shocked, and then began to kill the strange insects in front of them. The next moment, all the disciples exclaimed. It's really innate spiritual energy. Hiss, it's so pure. Although I haven't even seen the top-grade spiritual stone, I'm sure it's purer than the spiritual energy in the top-grade spiritual stone. At this time, all the disciples looked at the densely packed strange insects, as if they were looking at some kind of feast, and then everyone took action. At this time, Yilin also joined the team fighting against the monster insects. For a time, the originally densely packed monster insects were defeated one by one under everyone's full output. The disciples who took action became more and more courageous as they fought, and their aura also skyrocketed. Hiss, it's really pure. If I keep killing like this, I will definitely break through the 9th level of Qi training. At this time, Yilin was overjoyed and immediately increased his attack. Under everyone's collective attack, the strange insects were gradually defeated and began to disperse slowly. After a few minutes, the strange insects disappeared. Looking at the ball of innate spiritual energy stored in his dantian, Yilin felt happy. He would refine this ball of innate spiritual energy after leaving the secret realm. By then, it would be a certainty to reach the 9th level of Qi training. Due to the tight time, he had no time to refine it, so he could only store it in his dantian first, and then refine it slowly when he got out. The rest of the disciples all thought the same way, and everyone wanted to capture more innate spiritual energy. Is it over? One of the disciples looked at the disappearing monster insects and felt a little unfinished. He hadn't killed enough yet. Then everyone began to explore one after another. A whole hour passed and everyone found nothing. It seems that the opportunity has ended here. Let's go. It's none of our business. At this time, one of the disciples said, and the others nodded. Yilin looked at the disciple who was speaking, his eyes slightly focused. He always felt that this guy was not simple. Then, a transparent panel appeared in front of you. Name, Wang Sheng, Cultivation level, 9th level of Qi training, Fortune, Green, Numerology, Lucky star shines brightly, Fate. Half a month later, he went down the mountain to slay the demon, and died after being sucked dry of blood by the demon. Recent opportunity. After walking out of Tianfu, he was interested in the 2 stone lion hearts at the gate of Tianfu, so he went up to study them. In the mouths of the stone lions, he discovered the top-grade mystical god bead. Lucky star, you are very lucky. People who are with you are often influenced by you and become very lucky. After reading the panel, Yilin looked around, turned around and left. Let's go, don't be greedy. If you can get the innate spiritual energy, you have already received a lot. At this time, Wang Xing finished speaking and walked towards the door. The other disciples nodded and turned around to leave. At this time, Yilin walked along the single bridge and came to the stone lions. Looking at the 2 stone lions in front of him, Yilin stepped forward and groped for a while. Finally, a blue pillar was found on a stone lion on the left, and it was immediately included in the space ring. Junior brother, the statue cannot be moved, and this stone lion looks like it is not something we can move. At this time, Wang Xing walked towards Yilin and said with a smile, if it weren't for the fact that this thing was too heavy, he would also like to move a few of them back and display them in his own residence. How majestic would they be? Hey, I just thought this stone lion was much smaller than that stone statue. I didn't expect it to be so heavy. Yilin said immediately. Let's go, the door to the secret realm is about to open. Looking at the disciples coming out one after another around him, Wang Xing finished speaking and walked towards the distance. Arriving at the gate of the secret realm, almost all the inner disciples had already arrived and were waiting for the gate to open to go out and retreat. Everyone had gained a lot from this trip, but Yilin stood among the crowd and looked around, but did not find Lin Zisheng. Taking advantage of this period, Yilin sat cross-legged on the ground and began to practice. The spiritual energy in it was too strong. Instead of waiting, it was better to seize the time to practice. Seeing this, the other disciples followed suit. 3 hours later, a sword light flashed in the distance, and Lin Zisheng's face was radiant. Obviously he had gained a lot. At this time, Yilin opened his eyes and looked at Lin Zisheng. Name, Lin Zisheng, Cultivation, early stage of foundation building, Fate, Yellow, Numerology, Transcendental Luck. Leader of the swordsmanship, Intelligence to the gods, son of heavenly favorite. Reincarnation of the great power, Destiny. He experienced many hardships along the way, and finally broke through the Mahayana stage and became one of the great powers of the human race. Later, he was attacked by the great power of the demon race and escaped with serious injuries. Recent opportunity 1. I went down the mountain to slay demons a month later, and was attacked by demons on Baiduan mountain. I fell off the cliff, and obtained the Xuanjie high-grade spiritual fruit, Shuafeng fruit, under the cliff. After taking it, my cultivation level improved greatly, and I stepped into the foundation building in one fell swoop. Midterm, recent opportunity 2, 1.5 months later, I bought the only dilapidated vase in the Yuan Baozai in the Golden City antique market at a low price. After breaking it, I found that it contained ancient murals. After understanding it, I obtained the ancient magic and became powerful. Hua Sanqing. Transcendental luck, you are very lucky. You can always find opportunities along the way. Even if you encounter a life or death crisis, you can turn it into a disaster. Leader of swordsmanship, a natural master of swordsmanship. You have a better understanding of swordsmanship than ordinary people, and you make rapid progress in swordsmanship, intelligence and enlightenment. The understanding is transcendent, and it is extremely fast to comprehend various exercises. For the same exercise, it takes others 3 months, but you only need a few days. Son of Heaven, you are favored by the destiny of heaven. There is no bottleneck in your cultivation. Breaking through is as easy as eating and drinking. Reincarnation of the great power, you are the reincarnation of the great power in the immortal world, but your soul was damaged on the way and your memory was sealed. After reaching the nascent soul stage, your memory was unsealed. From then on, it was like a carp leaping over the dragon gate, and everything went smoothly. It seems that if I rob him of his opportunity, his future fate will also change. Looking at Lin Zisheng's fate, Yi Lin murmured to himself. There is no opportunity within a month, which means that he will practice in seclusion this month. It's just right, I will break through the 9th level of Qi training when I get out. Then go down the mountain and get this ancient fairy art, and transform it into 3 pure ones in one breath. Could it be the fairy art of that great power, that Yi Lin murmured in his mouth? If it was really the fairy art of that great power, he would make a lot of money, but after thinking about it, this was unrealistic. You know, that great power is the ancestor of Taoism, one of the 3 pure ones, the Taoist ancestor Laozi, a figure standing at the top. At this moment, the door to the secret realm in front of them suddenly opened, and the disciples walked out of the secret realm one after another. Yi Lin also followed behind the disciples. Watching Yi Lin's back disappear, Lin Zisheng's eyes flickered, as if thinking about something. After walking out of the secret realm, the old man who had sent them in earlier had already been waiting at the door. Yi Lin also tried to look at the old man's panel, but unfortunately, the difference in cultivation was too big, and the panel could not display it at all. Okay, disciples with cultivation above the foundation building stage will follow me to the hall to discuss matters, and the rest of the disciples can go down to practice. At this time, the old man said to the disciples. Seeing that the old man's face was a little unnatural, Yi Lin had already understood in his heart that it must be about the evil demon. However, this matter has little to do with him now. If the sky falls, there are tall people to support it. He only needs to practice and improve his cultivation as much as possible. Chapter 34 The Evil Devil Invades. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After arriving at his residence, Yi Lin began to count his harvest. Of course, the most important thing was the phoenix egg. Yi Lin took out the phoenix egg and put it next to him, then took out the foundation establishment pill and the demonic shadow, as well as the last 2 items, the hidden god bead and the fire spirit stone. No matter what thing here, it can cause chaos and bloodshed if it is released to the outside world. The foundation establishment pill can be used when you break through the foundation establishment stage. Looking at the foundation establishment pill in front of him, Yi Lin murmured to himself that this foundation establishment pill was refined in ancient times. As of now, the recipe for the foundation establishment pill has been lost. In other words, only I have the foundation establishment pill. But, what is the use of this hidden god pearl? Looking at the blue bead in his hand, Yi Lin fell into deep thought, and then slowly poured spiritual power into it. Suddenly, a strange light covered his whole body. Hiss, this hidden god bead can actually make me invisible. Can it also cover any aura on my body? After research and understanding, Yi Lin was shocked. The effect of this hidden god bead is too incredible, right? And after becoming invisible, as long as the golden elixir period does not come, no one can detect him. It just so happens that with this treasure, I won't panic at all even if I face Lin Zisheng in the future. Yi Linjin put the hidden god pearl back into the space ring. This thing is a good thing. But how on earth do you hatch it? At this time, Yi Lin set his sights on the phoenix egg. He now had no clue. This feeling of having nothing but being unable to move made him very uncomfortable. Phoenix egg, I now have phoenix fire, try it. After thinking about it, Yi Lin started to activate the phoenix fire in his dantian. Suddenly, a blazing flame came out of his body and covered the entire phoenix egg. At the same time, the mysterious lines on the surface of the phoenix egg also began to glow, and strange powers dispersed in all directions. Damn it, stop it. At this time, Yi Lin's expression changed. The phoenix egg in front of him was trying its best to absorb the phoenix fire, and the spiritual power in his body had been drained. Phoenix fire can only be supported by using spiritual energy. Now the phoenix egg absorbs the phoenix fire, and the phoenix fire absorbs his spiritual energy, falling into a cycle. If this continues and his spiritual power is gone, it's time to squeeze his blood. Fuck, let's fight. At this time, Yi Lin gritted his teeth and took out the only remaining middle-grade spiritual stone and began to absorb it. As for the innate spiritual energy in his dantian, it was used by him to break through the 9th level of Qi training and could not be moved. The spiritual power contained in a medium-grade spiritual stone is huge. Even so, it has been drained out in a short period of time. Fortunately for Yi Lin, the phoenix egg in front of him had stopped absorbing, which made him sigh in relief. Looking at the spirit stone powder in his hand, Yi Lin wanted to cry but had no tears. Just like that. There is a very weak breath of life. This is useful. At this time, Yi Lin noticed a faint breath of life coming from the originally dead phoenix egg. Although it was extremely weak, there was indeed a breath of life. This couldn't help but make him feel happy. As long as a phoenix can be hatched, what's the point of wasting a spiritual stone? By the way, there is also the Nirvana fruit from Lin Zio. The Nirvana fruit can repair injuries and may be useful for phoenix eggs. Forget it, let's start practicing. After thinking about everything, Yi Lin began to close his eyes and absorb the innate spiritual energy in his dantian with all his strength. In the blink of an eye, 8 days passed by. What a powerful force, innate aura, and it truly lives up to its reputation. On this day, Yi Lin opened his eyes, looked at his strong arms, and couldn't help but admire them. After being strengthened by his innate spiritual energy, he is even more powerful than the average 9th level Qi practitioner. Coupled with various methods, there are few opponents among the 9 levels of Qi training. By the way, the fire spirit stone. At this time, Yi Lin suddenly thought of something and looked at the bedside. The 3 fire stones that were originally lying on the bed had disappeared. Where is my fire spirit stone? At this time, Yi Lin turned his attention to the phoenix egg aside, and saw that the life breath in the phoenix egg had become stronger. Thinking about his fire spirit stone disappearing, Yi Lin felt sad and happy at the same time. Little guy, you have eaten up so many of my resources. When the time comes, you must repay me well. At this time, Yi Lin touched the phoenix egg and said with emotion. After speaking, the phoenix egg shook slightly, as if in response to him. Now the phoenix egg has the breath of life and can no longer be placed in the space ring. Yi Lin looked at the phoenix egg in front of him and pondered for a while. Only dead objects can be stored in the space ring, not living objects. Hide it. At this time, in order to ensure safety, Yi Lin dug a large pit from his residence, placed the phoenix egg in it, and then covered it with soil. The only thing I can do now is to feel aggrieved first. After everything last night, Yi Lin clapped his hands. Is junior brother Yi here? Is junior brother Yi here? At this time, there was a sound outside the door. What's wrong? Yi Lin frowned and stepped forward to open the door, only to see a disciple with an unfamiliar face standing in front of him. Junior brother Yi, the leader has summoned all inner disciples to go to the main hall to discuss matters. I see. Hearing this, Yi Lin nodded solemnly. Is the matter already so serious? He knew without thinking that it must be for the sake of the devil. If that's the case, then I'm leaving. and I have to inform the other brothers. Brother, walk slowly, I'll be there soon. Yi Lin nodded, and then a transparent panel appeared in front of his eyes. Name, Lu Ming, cultivation level, 9th level of Qi training, fate, green, numerology, none, ordinary, destiny, go down the mountain to exorcise demons tomorrow, and be sucked dry of blood by demons and die, recent opportunities, none. Looking at the panel of Lu Ming who left, Yi Lin was shocked. When he was in the outer sect before, he found that many disciples died from evil demons. Now, has it affected the inner sect disciples? But what exactly is this evil demon? We have to go to the main hall. After thinking about it, Yi Lin did not dare to delay, and then packed up and went to the main hall. At this time, there were 20 inner sect disciples standing in the sect hall, and 3 direct disciples at the top. In the center of the top of the hall, there was an old man standing, and there were also 3 old men around him. It seems that the disciples who did not retreat this time have expired, so let's start. After one of the old men finished speaking, the old man standing in the center nodded and then spoke. Everyone, now, evil demons have appeared in the area under the jurisdiction of my Qinyan sect. And the evil demons are the descendants of the ancient great demons. They are brutal by nature and feed on humans. Now, many cities have been invaded by evil demons, and countless people have died. We cultivators must not leave it alone. Now, I declare that you will go down the mountain to eliminate demons from now on. After the old man above said this, the other disciples all ignited a fighting spirit. We cultivators should eliminate demons and defend the way. Okay, the notice has been issued. Of course, you will not be allowed to do it in vain. Killing an evil demon below the 5th level of Qi training will reward you with 10 low-grade spirit stones, and killing one above the 5th level of Qi training will reward you with 50 low-grade spirit stones. Exorcise demons and defend the way, exorcise demons and defend the way. After the sect master said this, the disciples shouted one after another. They were very short of resources, very, very short of them. This time, the sect was just what they wanted. Yi Lin, who was standing at the back, was nervous. He had just looked at the panels of the group of people one by one, and none of them came back alive. This was very outrageous. Well, with you guys, our sect will flourish. Seeing the disciples like this, the sect master nodded with satisfaction. Chapter 35, Demon-Extermination Operation. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Looking at this group of poor people who knew nothing, Yi Lin mourned for them in his heart, but this also made him feel a strong sense of crisis. None of the 20 people on this trip survived. What does it mean? The evil demon's cultivation is far beyond the Qi training stage. Even if he goes, he will be a food delivery. The reward is very good, but you have to live to get it. At this time, Yi Lin has made up his mind, that is, to slack off. Okay, since everyone knows, let's go down and prepare. At this time, the leader of the upper sect waved his hand, and the disciples with fighting spirit walked out of the hall one after another, and Yi Lin also followed. After arriving at the residence, Yi Lin took care of everything and walked towards the outer door. He was going to the dark abyss in the middle layer of the 10,000 miles mountain to seize Lin Zio's opportunity. With the Nirvana fruit, the process of phoenix hatching will be one step closer. Have you heard? Senior brother Li Shan fought a fierce battle with the evil demon yesterday, and was eventually killed by the evil demon. His blood was sucked dry and he became a dried corpse, which was extremely scary. Who said it wasn't? In just half a month, 18 outer sect senior brothers have died in the battle. It is said that the sect is furious about this incident and will send inner sect disciples. It is said that there is also a direct disciple accompanying them. Such a large lineup will definitely destroy all the demons. Listening to the whispers of the outer sect disciples, Yi Lin's heart was tense. Could it be that the evil demon matter has become so serious? This made him feel urgent. After leaving the sect, Yi Lin took out the hidden god bead, activated it and hid his figure, and then disappeared into the woods. The dark abyss is a strange place in the mountains of 100,000 miles. There is no spiritual energy here. No matter whether it is monsters or human cultivators, they are unwilling to come here. As the rumors say, there is no spiritual energy here, as if it was taken away out of thin air. Stepping into the dark abyss and looking at the surroundings, Yi Lin said softly, "The name of the dark abyss sounds nice, but it is just a deep valley. It is indeed the Nirvana fruit." At this time, Yi Lin found a red spiritual fruit on the stone wall 10 meters below. Since the dark abyss is a deserted place where no one lives, the Nirvana fruit has not been picked. Yi Lin slowly went down along the rock wall, came to the side of the Nirvana fruit, grabbed the Nirvana fruit and then came to the ground. Why does this place always give me a feeling of uneasiness? The deeper I go, the stronger this feeling becomes. Yi Lin stood on the ground, looking at the bottomless valley below, and muttered, "When I climbed down just now, the feeling in my heart became stronger, as if. No matter, now my strength is low, it is better not to be curious about this kind of thing." Yi Lin shook his head and then hurried away. Arriving at the sect, the outer sect was extremely lively at this time. 20 inner sect disciples were ready to go, and the rest of the outer sect disciples were seeing them off. The sect ordered them to go down the mountain to eliminate demons tomorrow, but they couldn't wait. They were only in their 20s, and had never seen what evil demons looked like after practicing until now. Moreover, at this age, who doesn't have a dream of becoming a hero? More importantly, they were eager for the tempting reward. "Follow me." Accompanied by the shouting of a person in front, 20 inner sect disciples walked down the Qinyan sect. "Humph, evil demon. This time the inner sect is out, I wonder how long you can be arrogant." The inner sect disciples are all in the 9th level of Qi training, and there are also disciples in the foundation building period behind them. Such a luxurious lineup, but they are just evil demons, little trash. Watching the inner sect disciples walk out of the mountain gate, the outer sect disciples talked about it. Looking at these 20 poor guys, Yi Lin thought it was a pity in his heart. These 20 guys had good fates, but without exception, they had no chance anyway. He won't live long, so where's the chance? I'm one of the people going down the mountain this time, and the sect will definitely investigate. In this case, it's better to follow them down the mountain together, and then find a chance to escape. Looking at the 20 figures in front of him, Yi Lin thought secretly in his heart, the sect has registered the number of people in the hall. If he doesn't go, it will be difficult to explain when he is found. Afterwards, Yi Lin followed behind these 20 figures. "Brother Yi, where did you go just now? We went to your residence to look for you, but you were not there. We thought you had escaped from the battlefield." At this time, the leading inner sect disciple in front frowned and asked Yi Lin. "This time, the Demon-Extermination is of great importance, and I have also prepared something." Hearing Yi Lin's answer, Wang Li nodded. As an inner sect disciple, how can he not have some means? Then he stopped asking. It is a taboo to rashly ask others for their life-saving trump cards, even if they are brothers who are as close as brothers in life and death. Life is your own. Brothers, according to the news from the sect, the evil demons are in Wangjia village, Lijia village, and Zhaojia village. Let's move forward in 3 groups. When they came to the foot of the mountain, Wang Li turned and said to everyone, as for the evil demons that harmed the city, of course it was not their turn. They were just cleaning up the small fish that harmed the village. The leaders of Qinyan sect were not stupid. Of course, they would not let their backbones die in vain. Including Yi Lin, 21 people, divided into 3 groups, each with 7 people, and went to 3 villages respectively. 3 minutes later, everyone lined up, and Yi Lin's group's goal this time was Wangjia village. Yi Lin was secretly happy about this. He was familiar with the terrain of Wangjia village, and he could just run away when the time came. On the way to Wangjia village, a big man in front turned his head and looked at Yi Lin. "When the fight starts, roll behind us. Remember, if you are killed, no one will save you. Don't become a burden to us." After the big man finished speaking, Yi Lin nodded silently. There was no need to bother with a dying person. Humph, I really don't know why an 8th level Qi training person came to join in the fun. He must be here for the reward. If the outer disciples knew about it, let alone the 8th level Qi training, I think the 5th level Qi training people would come to join in the fun. After this person finished speaking, the other 5 people laughed. Looking at the few people who were laughing, Yi Lin sneered in his heart, "Laugh, I'll see if you can still laugh in front of the king of hell later." When they arrived in Wangjia village, they smelled a strong smell of blood. When they stepped into the village, the scene in front of them stunned them directly. In the village, there were corpses everywhere. These corpses, without exception, were all mummies, just like bones wrapped in a layer of skin, which looked extremely scary. What happened here? Seeing this, some disciples began to retreat. When had they seen such a scene when they practiced in Qingyun sect all day? It was good enough that they didn't get scared. Spread out and search to see if there are any living people. If you encounter an evil demon, shout for help. At this time, the big man in front said, and the others nodded and dispersed in all directions. Seeing this, Yi Lin finally knew how these guys died. When encountering an unknown situation, the first reaction is not to gather together, but to disperse. Isn't this waiting for the evil demon to defeat one by one? Besides, shouting when encountering an evil demon? I'm afraid you won't even have a chance to shout at that time. When Yi Lin walked halfway, he used the hidden god pearl to hide his figure. As long as it was not a Jindan stage evil demon, he would not be able to find him at all. Chapter 36 Obtaining the Fruit of Nirvana. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After searching for more than half an hour, everyone gathered together again and found nothing. Apart from corpses, there was no trace of the evil spirits at all, while Yi Lin was holding the hidden god pearl in his hand, standing on a roof and observing the surroundings. By the way, where are those 2 boys, Yi Lin and Wu Gang? At this time, the big man leading the front looked at the 4 people in front of him and said, "I don't know if I wait. Help." At this time, when everyone was confused, a cry for help came from the distance. The sound was extremely loud. Immediately, the faces of the 5 people changed drastically and they ran towards the cry for help, and Yi Lin was jumping on the rooftops. In a courtyard, they saw that Wu Gang, whom they were talking about, had been separated from his body. His head was hanging in the air, and drops of blood were dripping on the ground. Tick, tick, tick. The sound of blood dripping, coupled with Wu Gang's corpse all around, caused an inexplicable sense of panic to everyone. Who did this? The big man leading the front was full of anger. They were here to slay demons. Unexpectedly, before the demon could be seen, an inner disciple had already died. "Senior brother Long, I think we should go back. This place is too weird, so it's better to leave quickly." At this time, one disciple's psychological defense could no longer hold up any longer. He said weakly, "Fart, we monks are responsible for slaying demons. Now that we are leaving, don't you feel guilty?" Listening to Long Outyan's questioning, the disciple who had spoken before suddenly felt guilty. Is this the devil? At this time, Yi Lin, who was standing on the roof, looked at the corner outside the yard and his pupils shrank. "I saw a man with black and purple textures all over his body, a pair of black horns on his head, and fawn-like things all over his arms and legs. There is a black and purple crystal shining brightly on the chest, and a big mouth is full of fangs." Because Yi Lin had the hidden god bead, the evil demon did not discover him. "Let me see if you have a panel." Yi Lin murmured to himself, his eyes slightly focused, and suddenly, a transparent panel appeared in front of him, which made him feel happy. Name, MOE, race, demon, cultivation level, middle stage of foundation building, fate, blue, numerology, ancient demon blood, destiny. After devouring tens of thousands of people, he successfully broke through the golden elixir stage and became a terrifying demon that caused trouble for thousands of miles around. In the end, he was seriously injured and killed by 2 supreme elders of Qingyun sect and Tianjian sect. Recent opportunity. After devouring 20 inner sect disciples, he knew that staying would only make Qingyun sect angry, but he was unwilling to do so, so he immediately fled to Baiduan mountain 100 miles away, and found a man at the foot of Baiduan mountain. "At the Lingquan, I found the Ice Soul Needle, a high-grade Xian-level treasure. Under the Lingquan, ancient demon blood. You are a descendant of the ancient demon, and the blood of the ancient demon flows in your body. You are invincible in the same realm." Looking at the demonic panel in front of him, Yi Lin scratched his chin. Baiduan mountain. Could it be that this evil demon knocked Lin Zisheng off the cliff at Baiduan mountain? But according to Lin Zisheng's panel, it was a month later. Now that it's clear, I want all Lin Zisheng's opportunities. At this time, Yi Lin had an evil smile on his face. The reason he didn't dare to go to Baiduan Mountain at that time was because he was afraid of encountering evil spirits. But now that the culprit has been found, he no longer has to worry. At this time, the demon in the corner moved and turned into a purple-black light and rushed into the courtyard. Who? At this time, Long Outyen roared loudly, and just as he was about to turn his head, the next moment, the bodies were separated. The remaining 4 people were also unable to fight back and were instantly killed by the demon in front of them. That's right, the 5 of them didn't last more than 10 seconds in front of this demon before they were instantly killed by the demon. After killing 5 people, the demon began to suck the blood from the 5 people. In an instant, the 5 people suddenly turned into 5 mummies. It's so delicious. Sure enough, human blood is still as delicious as ever. At this time, Moe showed an intoxicated look on his face. Sir, the matters outside have been arranged. Please give me your instructions. At this time, another person ran outside the door. This person was wearing a black cloak and his face could not be seen clearly. Very good, you did a good job. When I finish my work, I will grant you eternal life. Moe looked at the person in front of him, his face full of approval, but actually he was sneering in his heart. The little human race will do whatever it takes to live forever. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. After hearing what Moe said, the man shed tears of gratitude, knelt in front of Moe and kowtowed. This scene was caught by Yi Lin on the roof. After that, Yi Lin didn't delay any further and turned around and walked towards Qinyan sect. No, everyone who went there this time is dead. If I go up like this, it will definitely arouse the sect's suspicion. Halfway through, Yi Lin suddenly stopped, gritted his teeth, raised his palm and hit himself in the chest. Suddenly, Yi Lin spit out a mouthful of blood on the ground. After messing up his clothes and hair, Yi Lin ran towards Qinyan sect. Isn't this Senior Brother Yi? Senior Brother Yi, what's wrong with you? Arriving at Qinyan sect, Yi Lin clutched his chest, with blood on the corner of his mouth, and looked extremely weak. Seeing Yi Lin, the outer disciples stepped forward and expressed concern. Hurry, take me to see the sect master quickly, something big has happened. Yi Lin was out of breath and said in a weak tone. Coupled with the blood at the corner of his mouth, the outer disciples felt that Yi Lin was about to burp in the next moment. Along the way, Yi Lin was carried to the inner gate hall by an outer sect disciple. The sect master who was in the hall saw this scene and frowned. I remember you were one of the people who went down the mountain to eliminate demons. What happened? What happened? Where are the others? Seeing Yi Lin, the sect master came forward and asked 3 questions in a row, not caring about Yi Lin's injuries at all. Report. Report to the sect master, that evil demon is a foundation building stage evil demon, we are no match for it. At the critical moment, all the brothers fought desperately with the evil demon, and only I escaped to report to the sect. Foundation building stage. Hearing this, the sect master frowned. Okay, I already know, this is a yellow grade middle grade rejuvenation pill, which will be of great help to your injuries. Go down to recuperate. At this time, the sect master took out a pill from his arms and handed it to Yi Lin, and then walked out of the hall with a solemn face. Thank you, sect master. Yi Lin took the pill and bowed to the sect master's back. After the sect master disappeared, Yi Lin stood up and limped towards his residence. After arriving at his residence and closing the door, Yi Lin swallowed the rejuvenation pill and began to heal his injuries. Just now, in order to act realistically, he used 6 points of strength in that palm, and almost got internal injuries. 3 hours later, Yi Lin took a deep breath. Although it was only a middle grade yellow grade, the effect of the medicine was still very good. His injuries have recovered almost completely. Now I can take Lin Zisheng's opportunity. I will go to Baiduan Mountain first, get 2 opportunities, and then go to Golden City. It's just right. The 3 opportunities will not delay each other. After thinking for a while, Yi Lin came to the yard and dug out the phoenix egg. At this time, the signs of life in the phoenix egg became more and more obvious. I wonder if the Nirvana fruit is useful, Yilin muttered, then took out the Nirvana fruit and placed it on the phoenix egg. Chapter 37 Baiduan Mountain. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Putting the Nirvana fruit on the phoenix egg, the next moment, something magical happened. The Nirvana fruit in Yilin's hand was slowly disappearing, and a fiery red light poured into the phoenix egg. The life breath in the phoenix egg became stronger and stronger. Seeing this, Yilin activated the phoenix fire in his body and began to increase its output. Just a few minutes later, Yilin was lying on the ground with a decadent look on his face. He was gone. There was really not a drop left. All the spiritual energy in his body was drained by the phoenix egg in front of him. Little guy, you are really edible. I spent a lot of energy and resources to hatch you. I hope you won't disappoint me. Yilin lay on the ground and said helplessly, the life breath in the phoenix egg is already very strong at this time, but there is still some way to go before hatching. At this time, the phoenix egg shook a few times, as if responding to Yilin. Okay, little one, you can sleep peacefully here and wait until the shuofeng fruit is obtained. Then I will continue to feed you. Yilin touched the phoenix egg, and then buried the phoenix egg in the ground. No matter what, the phoenix egg must not be discovered by anyone. Once discovered, not only will the egg be gone, but he will also die. You know, in ancient times, mythical beasts were the overlords of heaven and earth. After the ancient war, the mythical beasts fell one after another. In other words, the only descendant of the divine beast today is the phoenix egg in front of him. The ability of a divine beast to become the overlord of the world in ancient times when all kinds of ruthless people emerged and endlessly is naturally self-evident. As for the descendants of divine beasts, with such value, even the old monsters in the Mahayana stage would not hesitate to snatch them away. No, I have to wait for 3 days. Now I have to leave just after entering the sect. I'm afraid it will arouse some people's suspicion. Yilin thought in his mind, then turned and walked towards the house. In the eyes of others, he had just escaped from the hands of a demon and walked away from the gate of hell. Leaving the sect before he could regain his footing would definitely attract the attention of interested people. It would be better to stay in the sect peacefully for 3 days, and there is no rush to leave until this matter is over. In the blink of an eye, 3 days passed quietly. On this day, Yilin opened his eyes. The foundation of the 9th level of Qi training is already very solid, but there is still no hope of breaking through the foundation building stage. Yilin shook his head and whispered in a low voice. But let's see what my fate is. Cultivation level, 9th level of Qi training, fate, black, bad luck, numerology, bad luck, insight and understanding, destiny. A month later, Zisheng used the hands of the inner sect elders to expel the sword intent from his body, and his murderous intention for you became more serious. Then when you were going out a month later, he launched a sneak attack on you, and you used all your cards to escape with serious injuries. Past, recent opportunities, none. Additional bad luck, such as falling when walking, being cheated on getting married, intelligence and enlightenment. The understanding is transcendent, and it is extremely fast to comprehend various exercises. For the same exercise, it takes others 3 months, but you only need a few days. Looking at his own panel, Yilin thought in his mind, it seems that the last sword talisman caused a lot of harm to Zisheng. A month from now? You want to kill me right after you get out of seclusion. It seems that you have a lot of resentment towards me, Yilin murmured to himself, with a smile on his face. Now that he already knows his future destiny, it's easy to handle. Zisheng is his current money-giving boy. No matter, let's get the shuofeng fruit first, and then go to the Golden City. At this time, Yilin made up his mind and walked towards the outside of the sect. Baiduan Mountain is 100 miles away from the Qingyun sect and is not among the hundreds of thousands of miles of mountains. In just 3 hours, Yilin had arrived at Baiduan Mountain. Looking at the huge mountain peak in front of him, Yilin raised his feet and walked up. Yuan was at the foot of Baiduan Mountain, and Yilin walked around the foot of the mountain, looking for traces of Yuan. At this time, Yilin found a middle-aged man walking up the mountain with a basket on his back and an axe in his hand. Yilin hurriedly stepped forward to stop him. Hello, do you know where there is a spring at the foot of the mountain? Yi Lin asked the person in front of him. Spring water. Young man, walk along this road for 1,000 meters and you will arrive. However, I have to remind you that there are monsters entrenched in the spring water. You'd better be careful. Hearing this, Yi Lin nodded and cupped his fists towards the person in front of him. Thanks for letting me know. After saying that, he walked forward in the direction pointed by this person. After walking about a kilometer, Yi Lin finally found a spring. On the left was a high cliff, with streams of water pouring into the spring in front of him. It can be called pure natural mountain spring water. The panel shows the bottom of the spring. The bottom of the spring looks like only 3 or 4 meters. Standing on the ground, Yi Lin looked along the water surface. The spring water was crystal clear and it was easy to judge the approximate depth. Afterwards, Yi Lin plunged into the water and swam along the bottom of the spring. When he arrived at the bottom of the spring, Yi Lin found half of the wooden box leaking out of the soil. Yi Lin grabbed the wooden box and pulled it out easily. Just when Yi Lin wanted to swim upward, his right leg was suddenly entangled with something. Yi Lin looked towards his right leg and saw a python several meters long wrapping around his body along the right leg. Seeing this, Yi Lin speeded up and swam toward the water. Huh, a third-level chi training monster. How dare you! After swimming to the surface, Yi Lin looked along his right leg and saw that the whole leg was directly entangled by the python. If he were a mortal, let alone swimming to the surface, he would have been entangled and died. Then Yi Lin took out the long sword from the space ring and stabbed the python's head under the water. Instantly, the python's body was separated. After a few more slashes, the whole python was cut into several pieces by Yi Lin and slowly sank to the bottom of the spring. Putting away the long sword, Yi Lin came to the ground, sat on the ground and opened the wooden box in his hand. In the wooden box, there were 3 silver-white needles, and there was a trace of cold air on these 3 needles. Even though Yi Lin was at the 9th level of chi training, he couldn't help shivering. It was really that the cold air on the silver needles was too strong. After this needle, let alone the chi training stage, even if the foundation building stage is hit, it will immediately lose its combat effectiveness. Yi Lin took a deep breath, then closed the wooden box and put it into the space ring. These 3 ice soul needles are his trump card now, and he is more confident about the assassination of Lin Zisheng in a month. Then Yi Lin stood up and looked at the mountain hundreds of meters high in the distance. This Baiduan mountain is hundreds of meters high. Is it under the cliff? Looking at the high mountain in front of him, Yi Lin walked towards the highest point. He was quiet along the way and did not find any monsters. Easily reached the highest point, Yi Lin came to the edge and looked down. In front of him was a cliff that was almost 90 degrees vertical, and there was nothing to climb on the mountain wall. Now I am at the 9th level of chi training. Even if I jump from here, I will be seriously injured at most. Yi Lin pondered for a while, and then climbed down along the mountain wall. As for jumping directly, although it was easy, he was not a masochist. I still have to break through the foundation building stage as soon as possible. I can't fly. It's too troublesome. Yi Lin, who had worked hard to climb down the mountain, complained, looking at his red hands, and was speechless. Around the bottom of the mountain, there was a dense jungle. There is a light over there. Go and have a look. At this time, Yi Lin noticed that there was a flash of light in the bushes in front of the jungle, which attracted his attention. Then he raised his foot and walked forward. Chapter 38 Yuan Bao Zhai. You are listening at novelfull.audio. When he came here, Yi Lin squatted down slightly and pushed aside the grass, only to see a shining crystal lying in it. In the soil next to the crystal, there was a yellowish-brown fruit. Could this be the shuofeng fruit? At this time, Yi Lin took the fruit out of the soil, put it into the space ring, and turned to look at the shining crystal. It turned out to be a medium-grade spirit stone. Did the rich spiritual energy in the spirit stone breed this shuofeng fruit? At this time, Yi Lin picked up the crystal, carefully sensed the spiritual energy in it, and then threw it away with a look of disgust. This is indeed a medium-grade spirit stone, but there is little spiritual energy left in it, so it is useless to keep it. Now I have got the shuofeng fruit and the bingpa needle, and the last and strongest opportunity, Yikihua Sanqing. At this time, Yi Lin slowly stood up and looked into the distance. The Golden City was located thousands of miles away from the Qinyan sect. It was very far away. Yi Lin didn't know why Lin Zisheng ran to the Golden City thousands of miles away, but now everything is unimportant, this opportunity is his. Golden City, here I come. One day later, Yi Lin looked at the huge city gate in front of him and sighed. Golden City is a heavy city, which is not comparable to that kind of small city, and in a heavy city, there are also places where immortal cultivators are entrenched. Yi Lin walked into the city, and the guards at the city gate didn't even look at Yi Lin, and walked into the city easily. Where is the antique market? Looking at the bustling figures around, Yi Lin fell into deep thought. Hey, is this brother going to the antique market? At this time, a man appeared next to Yi Lin, with an extremely wretched appearance, a mustache, and a height of no more than 1.6 meters. Yes, I have heard that the Golden City antique market is famous, so I came to see it. Yi Lin nodded and said. Brother, my name is Wang Lao Lu. You can call me Lao Wang or Lao Lu. As for the antique market, you have found the right person. There is nothing in this Golden City that I, Wang Lao Lu, don't know. At this time, Wang Lao Lu suddenly slapped his thigh and boasted to Yi Lin. Then I would like to trouble you to take me to this antique market, how about it? After Yi Lin finished speaking, Wang Lao Lu secretly stretched out his hand, rubbed his index finger and thumb lightly, and smiled slyly. Seeing this, Yi Lin understood. Take me first, and then you will get the benefits. After Yi Lin finished speaking, Wang Lao Lu circled around Yi Lin. No problem, brother, follow me. After speaking, Wang Lao Lu walked in front, and Yi Lin followed closely. After twists and turns along the way, everyone came to a market. There was a golden-laid plaque on the front gate, and 3 big characters were written on the plaque, Antique City. Brother, this is it. Do you need me to take you in? Do you know where the Yuan Baozai in this antique city is? After Yi Lin finished speaking, Wang Lao Lu looked at Yi Lin with a strange expression. Why are you going to Yuan Baozai? Yuan Baozai is a well-known scam. None of the 10 antiques are real. It's okay. I just want to go in and take a look. I have heard of the name of Yuan Baozai many times on the way here, so I have always been curious. Hearing this, Wang Lao Lu nodded. That's right. Although Yuan Baozai is a scam, it is famous. In this case, I will take you into Yuan Baozai. After speaking, Wang Lao Lu took Yi Lin to the antique city. On the side of the road, there are all kinds of stalls. The servants who set up the stalls are smiling and soliciting customers. They are bragging more outrageously than one another. Come and have a look, dear guests. These things of mine were all found in ancient ruins. The leader of Qinyan sect said they were good. Take a look at mine. These were found in a secret place. I almost died there. These things are treasures of immortal cultivators. You can't lose money by buying them. You can't be fooled by buying them. At this time, a young man came to the stall and asked the servant in front of him. Brother, if this is fake, will you compensate me? Hearing this, the servant was stunned, and then said earnestly. Young man, everything in this world involves cause and effect. You bought my things, you got something, and before I got it, the cause and effect here has been resolved, which means that there is no connection anymore. Don't talk about whether to compensate or not, that's a small matter. How about taking a look? Hearing this, the young man disappeared in a flash. This is Yuan Baozai. At this time, Yi Lin heard the words, looked at the extremely imposing ancient building in front of him, nodded silently, and it looked pretty good. Thank you for showing me the way. At this time, Yi Lin threw a silver ingot to Wang Lao Lu, who took it with a smile on his face. Thank you for the reward, but little brother, I have to remind you that this Yuan Baozai is famous for cheating people, so you have to be careful. After saying that, Wang Lao Lu patted his butt and walked out of the antique city, and Yi Lin took a look and walked in. Inside, there was a huge space, and what caught the eye were small tables with various antiques on them. Although they looked like antiques, it was unknown whether they were real or fake. "Sir, are you from outside the city?" That at this time, a middle-aged man with a big belly looked at Yi Lin with shining eyes, who doesn't know the reputation of his Yuan Baozai in Huangjin City. Those who can walk into his Yuan Baozai are all newbies from outside the city without exception. "I did come from outside the city. I heard that your Yuan Baozai has many treasures, so I came to see it." Yi Lin nodded, then walked to a vase, looked at it, and asked the boss. "How much is this?" Hearing this, Wang Guofu was full of disgust. "Selling? Too vulgar, my Yuan Baozai is all about fate." After saying this, Yi Lin understood. "This thing is destined for me. 5 taels." Hearing this, Yi Lin was slightly speechless, then he pretended to wander around, but in fact, he was looking for the old flower pot. At this time, 2 people walked in from outside the door. One of them had a long sword on his back and was dressed in white, like a handsome young man. The other was a woman with a charming appearance and looked very cute. "Oh, these 2 guests, are they from outside the city?" Seeing this, Wang Guofu muttered in his heart, "Why is the business so good today?" Then he gave a warm welcome on the surface. "Well, it's from the Tianjian sect, junior sister, take a look, tell senior brother what you see. We still have to go to investigate the evil demons after we buy." After the man finished speaking, Yi Lin's mind moved. Someone from the Tianjian sect? To investigate the evil demons? So it's a big shot from the Tianjian sect. "This girl, you can choose whatever you want, I'll give you a 20% discount." Hearing this, Wang Guofu was slightly shocked. The Tianjian sect is the second largest sect in the area of 10,000 miles after the Qinyan sect, and he can't afford to offend the disciples there. It seems that this time he has to make a loss-making business. And then he looked at Yi Lin who was wandering around in the distance, and his heart was relieved. Fortunately, there is still a young man, and I must double the loss from this guy later. "My friend, my name is Tang Shui, a disciple of the Tianjian sect. Are you here to shop here too?" At this time, the girl named Tang Shui came to Yi Lin and asked with a smile. "No, I just came in to take a look." Chapter 39 Tang Shui. You are listening at novelfull.audio. "Okay, I wonder what your name is?" Looking at the man in front of her, Tang Shui asked politely. She always felt that the man in front of her was not as simple as he seemed on the surface. "Me? My name is Wang Fugue, just an ordinary mortal." At this time, Yi Lin touched his nose and said. "Is that so? All right then." Hearing this, Tang Shui nodded, then walked aside and began to pick out the gadgets she liked. At this time, Yi Lin glanced at Tang Shui, and then a transparent panel appeared in front of him. Name, Tang Shui, Cultivation, Qi Training Level 7. Fate, Green, Numerology, Good Luck, Super Accurate Intuition, Fate. After walking out of the Golden City, he was discovered by the evil cultivator halfway, and then was cruelly bullied to death by the evil cultivator. Recent opportunity, found a beautiful little jade box in the southeast corner of Yuan Baozai. After buying it, walked outside the city to open it, and immediately found a Xian-level lower-grade blood-blasting pill. After swallowing it, it can burst out 3 times its own strength, but the body will be extremely weak for a month afterwards. Good luck, you are a girl born with good fortune, and the people around you will also be affected by your good fortune. Super accurate intuition, your intuition is extremely sharp, and you can often find the truth of certain things. Looking at Tang Shui's back, Yi Lin shook his head. This matter has nothing to do with him. However, this blood-blasting pill is a good thing, a life-saving treasure. It has 3 times the power of itself. Yi Lin estimated that once he swallowed it, he could fight against the initial stage of foundation building. Then Yi Lin walked towards the southeast corner and suddenly found a small jade box on the edge of a table. Yi Lin slowly picked up the box. "How much is this?" "Oh, guest, you asked the right person. This was taken out of the ancient ruins. It has not been opened yet. No one knows what treasures are inside. This, you can take it home for only 100 taels of silver." Listening to the boss's exaggeration, Yi Lin was speechless for a while. A layer of dust appeared on the surface of the small jade box in his hand. At a glance, it was just placed here casually. At this time, Yilin found a shabby vase at the back of the table, and then pulled the table open and took the vase in his hand. Looking at the vase in front of him, Yilin was delighted. Yes, it was him. The surfaces of various vases in Yuan Baozai were extremely exquisite, and only the vase in front of him was extremely consistent with the description on the panel. Boss, I want both of these. How much do you want to sell them? At this time, Yilin looked at Wang Guofu in front of him. A total of 100 taels, I'll give you that vase as a gift. Wang Guofu looked at the shabby vase in Yilin's hand and couldn't help saying, such a shabby vase is not worth much at first glance. Instead of throwing it away, it's better to give it away. 50 taels, will you sell it? If you don't sell it, I'll leave. Yilin looked at Wang Guofu and sneered in his heart. He didn't cheat people like this. Junior sister, it's time to go. We have to go back to the sect to report. At this time, the man standing outside the door said, the man has been silent since he came in, and he has a heroic demeanor. This made Yilin very curious. Could this be a disciple of Tianjian sect? Name, Chao Zhai, Cultivation, Qi Training Level 7. Fate, White, Ordinary, Numerology, None, Destiny. After leaving the city, on the way back to Tianjian sect, he was brutally killed by an evil cultivator. Recent opportunities, none. Seeing this, Yilin was speechless. It turned out that he was just a rookie. Why was he pretending to be a hero? Well, I also saw that you have a connection with these two things, so I'll give you a personal favor. 50 taels is 50 taels. At this time, Wang Guofu said, looking extremely heartbroken. Yilin put his hand into his arms, and the next moment, he was stunned. He had no money again. All the money just now was given to Wang Laolu. He didn't have any silver on him, and as for the spirit stones, he had none, which made him a little speechless. What? No money? At this time, Wang Fugue looked at Yilin with a strange face. Why did he come to Yuan Baozai without money? What are you doing? Boss. We don't sell on credit. Before Yilin finished speaking, Wang Fugue refused. When he was about to snatch the treasure from Yilin, a silver ingot appeared in front of Wang Fugue. I paid for his things. Yilin looked and saw that Tang Shui had stood in front of him without knowing when. Remember to bring money when you go out, otherwise you won't meet me next time. Tang Shui smiled sweetly at Yilin, and then followed Chao Zhai outside. You kid, you don't have money, why are you pretending to be a big shot? Go away. At this time, Wang Fugue put away the silver and looked at Yilin with contempt. Yilin put the two treasures into the space ring and followed Tang Shui. I took your opportunity and you paid for me. In this case, I will save your life and we will be even. After Yilin left, Wang Guofu opened his mouth and looked at Yilin's back. Space ring. Wang Fugue was shocked, and then his anus tightened. He immediately closed the door and leaned against it, trembling. I actually despised a cultivator with a space ring. I shouldn't live long, I shouldn't live long. The matter was settled. Outside the city, Tang Shui jumped and followed Chao Zhai. Junior sister, why did you pay for that young man just now? No reason, because I was happy, because I liked him. Looking at Tang Shui in front of him, Chao Zhai was speechless. His junior sister was born with a cheerful personality and was carefree. She was the happy fruit in the eyes of the outer disciples of the Tianjian sect. After the two walked 1,000 meters, Chao Zhai frowned. Junior sister, stop. At this time, Chao Zhai frowned and shouted at Tang Shui who was jumping in front of him. What's wrong, senior brother? Tang Shui turned her head with a puzzled look on her face. Something is wrong. Chao Zhai looked at the wilderness around him, and then slowly drew out the long sword behind him. He, what a beautiful person, I have never seen such a beauty in my life. At this time, 3 men in black walked out of the wilderness on the side. The 3 men stared at Tang Shui with silver smiles on their faces. Senior brother. At this time, Tang Shui couldn't help but feel a little nervous, and came behind Chao Zhai step by step. Everyone, my junior sister and I have no hatred with you, right? Chao Zhai looked at the three people in front of him and said while retreating. You don't need to know, just kill him. At this moment, one of the black-robed men went berserk, his right hand in a claw shape, and he clawed towards Chao Zhai. 8th level of Qi training. Looking at the black-robed man in front of him, Chao Zhai lost his voice, and then took out a pill from his arms without hesitation and swallowed it. Junior sister, I'm sorry. Chao Zhai grabbed Tang Xue's shoulders and threw her behind him, and the whole person ran forward at a very fast speed, disappearing in an instant. He, a guy without backbone, as expected, none of these upright sects have backbone. Just now, a black-robed man grabbed Tang Xue's shoulders and looked at Chao Zhai who was leaving, with a face full of disdain. How could this happen? Tang Xue's face was full of disbelief. He didn't believe that the senior brother who was usually very good to her would abandon her and run away. Little girl, now that your senior brother has escaped, let the brothers accompany you to have fun. He. Chapter 40, 1 Qi becomes 3 pure ones. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Looking at these three ugly faces in front of her, Tang Xue was already desperate. She had been practicing in the sect all day long and was favored by the outer disciples of Tianjian sect. When had she ever seen this scene? At the critical moment, the senior brother who cared about him the most on weekdays abandoned him and ran away without hesitation, which made him despair inside. Jia, little girl, just obey me. After the man in black robe finished speaking, that dirty hand started to grab a certain part of Tang Xue. Let me go. At this time, Tang Xue was full of energy from the 7th level of Qi training, but the next moment, her shoulder was grabbed by another man in black robe. The momentum that had just risen was suppressed by the man in black robe. You're at the 7th level of Qi training, and you still want to resist. It's simple. The man in black robe sneered. 7 killing fists, kill. At this time, the man in black robe holding Tang Xue's arm looked at the fist on his chest. How is it possible? The man in black robe turned his head, then closed his eyes and lay on the ground. Yi Lin's punch directly penetrated the black-robed man's chest. Who? At this time, the other two men in black robes turned their heads. Who are you? We have nothing to do with each other, right? The two men in black robes looked at the unfamiliar faces in front of them and backed away slowly. 7 killing fists. Facing the two people in front of him, Yi Lin didn't talk nonsense at all. Saving Tang Xue was on the one hand, but the two were evil cultivators on the other. In the hearts of all the monks in this world, there is zero tolerance for evil cultivators. They will kill them when they see them, because evil cultivators are no longer human beings, they are traitors to the human race. In order to live forever, he was willing to be the demon's lackey, and in turn, he killed his own people at all costs, and was despised by the monks. Do it. After saying that, the two men in black robes rushed towards Yi Lin, their bodies surging with spiritual energy and imposing momentum, but the next moment, the two of them looked at the bloody hole on their chests with disbelief. Practice, the 9th level of Qi training. As one of them made a desperate cry, the two of them lay straight on the ground. I am now invincible during the Qi training period. 3 Qi training level 8s can't even catch me in person. Looking at the bodies of the three people, Yi Lin thought to himself, then waved his hands, squatted in front of one person, and wiped the blood off his hands. Is it you? Aren't you an ordinary person? At this time, Tang Xue looked at Yi Lin with wide eyes. She couldn't believe that this person who had claimed to be immortal just a moment ago had killed 3 top masters at the 8th level of Qi training in an instant. I just came to thank you for helping me pay the bill. At this time, Yi Lin looked up and saw a transparent panel appeared, then stood up and walked away. Name, Tang Xue, Cultivation, 7th level of Qi training, Fortune, Green, Numerology, Good luck, super accurate intuition, Destiny. After this incident, I walked safely to the Tianjian sect, and finally practiced for a lifetime, entering the late stage of foundation building, and died in depression because my lifespan was exhausted. Recent opportunity, I found a yellow level middle grade long sword in the Holy Sword Peak of Tianjian sect. Since then, my combat power has greatly increased. Continuous good luck. You are a girl born with blessings, and those around you will also be affected by your good fortune. Super accurate intuition. Your intuition is extremely sharp and you can often discover the truth of certain things. Looking at Tang Shui's opportunity, Yi Lin shook his head. Not to mention that he already looked down on the middle-grade Huan-level longsword. Furthermore, the Tianjian sect was not something he could enter. Hey, what's your name? At this time, Tang Shui shouted towards Yi Lin's back. Qingyun sect, Yi Lin. At this time, Yi Lin replied casually, and then accelerated towards Qingyun sect. He couldn't wait to study the Qi transformation Sanqing. Qingyun sect, Yi Lin. Tang Shui looked at Yi Lin's disappearing back and murmured, after a day of traveling, Yi Lin successfully arrived at his residence, opened a door on the left, and looked around. Phew, no one has come in. Looking at a small stone by the door, Yi Lin murmured that he had left it by the door intentionally. As long as someone opened the door on the right, he would push the small stone and dislocate the stone. Then Yi Lin came to the yard and dug out the phoenix eggs from the ground. After not seeing each other for 2 days, the aura of life in the phoenix egg became stronger and stronger. Yi Lin took out the shuofeng fruit and placed it on the phoenix egg. Suddenly, the shuofeng fruit turned into rays of light and merged into the phoenix egg. Phoenix egg rubbed Yi Lin excitedly. The breath of life is getting stronger, but there is still a long way to go before hatching. Looking at the phoenix egg in front of him, Yi Lin murmured, and then buried the phoenix egg into the ground. I have no choice but to do this now. I can only aggrieve this little phoenix first. When he came to the house, Yi Lin took out the old vase from the space ring and smashed it decisively. Unexpectedly, he found a diamond-shaped crystal at the bottom of the vase. The next moment, the crystal turned into a stream of light and rushed into Yi Lin's mind. Holy shit! Before Yi Lin could react, he closed his eyes and passed out on the bed. In the blink of an eye, 3 days passed by. On this day, Yi Lin opened his eyes and looked around blankly. He had a dream, a very long dream. One Qi transforms the 3 pure beings, one Qi transforms the 3 pure states. At this time, Yi Lin sat on the bed and murmured, his eyes full of excitement. From the dream, he understood the awesomeness of the martial art of transforming 3 pure things into one spirit. One Qi transformation and 3 purities are divided into 3 levels. The first level can be practiced to create an external incarnation, the second level can be practiced to create the second external incarnation, and the third level can be practiced to create the third external incarnation. Moreover, each external incarnation possesses the 8th level of strength of the main body. In other words, after practicing to a great extent, you can have 3 external incarnations with the 8th level of strength. However, there is a fatal flaw. Once the external incarnation is shattered, it can never be repaired. It is unique. Even if you reach the 3rd level of perfection and the first external incarnation is shattered, then there will only be 2 incarnations after that. But even so, this martial art can be described as extremely abnormal. With my current level of cultivation, I can't practice this martial skill at all. I have to reach the golden elixir stage. It's a pity. At this time, Yi Lin murmured that during the Qi training period, he was not even qualified to practice this martial skill. But once I master these martial arts skills, I will have no rival within the same realm. Yi Lin is not discouraged. Anyway, he has already obtained the martial arts skills and can practice them morning and night, and he doesn't care about this moment. It just so happens that the demonic shadow I found in the secret realm last time hasn't been practiced yet, so I'll study it first. At this time, Yi Lin took out the magic shadow from the space ring and started to look through it bit by bit. The numerology of transcendent understanding is really abnormal. After just reading it once, Yi Lin already understood it and memorized it by heart. The demonic shadow has 3 levels in total. The first level can exert 5 times its own speed, the second level can exert its own 8 times the speed, and the third level can exert its own 10 times the speed. It is simply a life-saving magic skill. And once you have mastered it, you can interfere with the enemy's soul. In the eyes of the enemy, you are just a shadow without a trace. Yi Lin murmured to himself, it is more appropriate to say that it is an illusion, and it is more appropriate to use the metaphor of movement. In the future, even if you encounter an enemy that you cannot defeat, you can escape. Start practicing. After thinking about it, Yi Lin closed his eyes and began to practice without a trace.